special telecast, especially what's been happening within the Congress party. I'm now bringing in our consulting editor, Rajdeep Sardesai. Rajdeep, over to you about what precisely happened in the last few hours.
Thank you very much, Pooja. Yes, high drama is taking place within the principal opposition party, the Congress, ahead of a crucial Congress working committee, with Sonia Gandhi indicating that she wants to quit as Congress president. She doesn't want to continue any longer as the interim president. Predictably, that has led to a chorus within the party asking her to stay on, and if at all she has to go, then Rahul Gandhi should replace her. All this against a backdrop of a letter written by several congresspersons calling for a change in leadership, change in functioning, if not in leadership. Take a look at what's been happening in the grand old party.
Dramatic developments in the Congress party, hours after it was reported that top party leaders have written to interim chief Sonia Gandhi seeking a full organizational overhaul. Sources told India Today that Sonia Gandhi, in her formal reply to the letter, said she is willing to step down as the party chief and that a new party leader should be chosen. However, Congress officially denied reports of Sonia Gandhi expressing her wish to hang her boots. Congress spokesperson Randeep Singh Surjewala stated, Sonia Gandhi has neither spoken to any leader nor has she written to anyone about stepping down. The drama unfolded after 23 top party leaders, including CWC members, members of parliament, and former ministers in the UPA regime, wrote to the Congress president. Sources say the letter sent a fortnight ago seeks an effective central leadership that is active and also visible on the ground, and also elections to top party positions. The letter claims the revival of the Congress is a national imperative needed for the health of democracy. As the letter reignited leadership debate within the Congress, senior leader like Salman Khurshid, Punjab Chief Minister Captain Amarinder Singh and Chhattisgarh Chief Minister Bhupesh Baghel reposed their faith in the Gandhi family leadership.
Each one of us is very clear that we have a leadership that we admire, that we respect, that we believe in, and as long as we have that leadership, I see no reason why anyone should be talking about it.
Will be known in the coming days.
Suspended party leader Sanjay Jha, however, echoed Priyanka Gandhi's call for a non-Gandhi family Congress chief.
Why should there not be a platform for others to try out their leadership potential? I do believe that the time has come for us to actually go ahead and push forward the proposition of a fair election. And if a non-Gandhi is elected as the Congress president, I'm very confident, as I'm sure are the other colleagues of mine.
All eyes are now on the crucial CWC meeting on Monday. Sources say the meeting, while stormy, will decide the fate of Congress at crossroads.
The Congress party has been in a disarray since the Lok Sabha poll debacle. The leadership is running in circles in its hunt for a Congress president. With the battle lines drawn, the Congress Working Committee is up for fireworks. With video journalist Shakil Ahmed, this is Mosmi Singh in Delhi for India Today.
And joining me now is the senior Congress leader and former Union Minister Ashwini Kumar, one of those who has come out to say that Sonia Gandhi must stay on. Ashwini Kumar, why do you believe that Sonia Gandhi must stay on when she herself has indicated enough is enough? She wants someone else to take over. Why are you putting pressure on her to stay on? Are you telling me that the grand old party has no one else who can take over?
It's not a question of anybody putting pressure on her. The fact is that at this point of time in the party's history, there is no other unifying leader who can ensure the unity within party ranks as well as give direction to the party to meet the challenges that we face. And it is a no ordinary situation that we face today. It is true, and it is not a fortunate happenstance that we are today in a position where we have no other leader who is acceptable within the party. Mrs. Gandhi has led the party from the front for the last several years. She had earned the goodwill of the party, and therefore today, at this particular juncture, her unifying leadership is essential. It is not my case that will be the situation forever and ever. Parties go on, the country will go on, and as will the Congress party. But today, we do not have one common
the
leader.
fact is, Mr. Ashwini Kumar, Dr. Ashwini Kumar, extraordinary times call, I agree, for extraordinary measures, but surely the extraordinary measure could be to try out someone outside the Gandhi family. You can't go any lower than you have in the last couple of elections. That's in terms of elections. Plus, as those who have written a letter to the Congress leadership seem to suggest, you need a more visible leadership today. You need a leadership that's available on the ground. Mrs. Gandhi's health prevents her from being that kind of visible leader. So what's the harm in trying out someone else?
You do not go for change for the sake of change. You always go in for change for the better, if the change is for the better. Now, I have been a congressman for the last 40 years of my life. I can, in all sincerity, tell your viewers and on record that I myself do not find one single leader who will inspire the kind of confidence that we need today. And as far as elections are concerned, as far as searching for a new leader is concerned, let me tell you, political adventurism is not the best thing at difficult times. These are very challenging times. We first have to keep our party together. That is our first priority. And once we succeed in keeping the party together, we can find new leadership, not only one leader. We need several leaders at the central level. We need several leaders at the state level. And that is a gradual process. This process will begin. There's no doubt it will begin. It will acquire an urgency. But today and now is not the time.
So you're saying now is not the time. The fact, though, is Rahul Gandhi has abdicated. He has said, I don't want to be Congress president. Sonia Gandhi is reluctant. And Priyanka Gandhi Vadra, by all indications, is still not fully ready, perhaps, to take over. Now, that comes to the question, are we saying that there is no one available outside the Gandhi family? They themselves, Rahul Gandhi, when he resigned, said, I would like a non-Gandhi to take over. So why has the Congress for 12 months been unable to find it? Where is the urgency? For the last 12 months, I have seen no urgency. You are saying these are extraordinary times. Surely extraordinary times, as I say, call for a sense of urgency. There's been no urgency for 12 months now.
Well, if you're talking of the survey of the last 12 months, let me tell you, 6 months have been taken with COVID. And there are far more important challenges than start inventing a leader or someone for leadership role within the party when we do have a president. Yes, it is true that Mrs. Gandhi's health and her age prevents her from that kind of activity that is required. And that can be, a way can be found for that. You can have a working president, you can have a vice president, but you need one pivotal figure. You need one iconic figure, one figure with whom the emotional bondage of the congressmen and women is a given. That figure is necessary today to keep the party intact. I have no difficulty with finding other leaders. Other leaders will come. They have been groomed from within the party, and they will continue. The search for that leadership will continue. But it is a question of timing. It is a question of methodology. It is a question of how to bring about that change as and when that change becomes an absolute imperative. Of course, if Mrs. Gandhi and none of the Gandhis were decisively to say one thing for all.
So if at tomorrow's...
Sorry?
So if at tomorrow's CWC meeting, Mrs. Gandhi says, look, I was an interim president. I've done my 1 year. Please look for an alternative. What would you suggest? A working president with Mrs. Gandhi continuing in some role? Is that what you would prefer?
Well, that could be one way forward in order to ease her burden, in order to ease the physical pressure of work on her. That is certainly one of the ways. It has been tried in the past. Mr. Arjun Singh was the vice president when Mr. Rajiv Gandhi was prime minister, although Mr. Rajiv Gandhi was young, but his prime ministership didn't leave him the kind of time, so he entrusted it to somebody else. We had Kamalapati Tripathi, who was a working president in the Congress party. We've got a whole history behind us to find ways to to ensure that the party functions effectively, yet it has at the top a leader who's accepted. Now we are talking, this letter talks about democracy. Now the democratic principle within the Congress party today suggests that the Gandhis enjoy overwhelming support. This is not to suggest that people can't have a legitimate grievance. They can have a legitimate grievance. But is the answer to that legitimate grievance is another name just for the sake of it, whether that name commands the respect or not? No, that cannot be a political way forward for the Congress party.
Okay.
So therefore, the leadership of the future has to be dynamic, has to be acceptable. Yes.
Let me ask you a final question. The elephant in the room is Rahul Gandhi. Rahul Gandhi is the one who quit in June 2019 after the Lok Sabha defeat. He's the one, therefore, who has chosen not to return to the post. Sources saying he's still unwilling to take up the post. What, therefore, happens to the chorus Rahul for president? Do you believe Rahul Gandhi should take over, or should Rahul Gandhi now back off completely and give someone an opportunity, someone else a chance? That's the point. How will you train this new generation? How will you, without even trying it?
Well, we have already groomed the new generation. The pilots of the world are a new generation. The Milind Deoras of the world are also a new generation. The fact is that if Mr. Rahul Gandhi decisively has decided not to take on the responsibility, there's no point putting the kind of pressure on him that people are putting. If he does decide, however, to bow to the pressure or to come in and assume responsibility, I'm sure the party will accept that. But today the situation is that what we hear, I don't know authoritatively, but what we hear is that he's unwilling. Now, in case he is unwilling, you can't physically force him and ask him to sit on the Congress president's chair. That would be unfair to him.
Yeah, but you can't be in the party and out of it. Mr. Rahul Gandhi is not Congress president, yet he continues by all indications to call the shots. And may I add, Ashwini Kumar, you don't have a Congress parliamentary board at the moment. The CWC doesn't meet as frequently as it should. You have an extended CWC, it's an unelected CWC. You have serious issues. Are you all willing to confront them, yes or no? Or are you going to continue in this in this manner towards some belief, towards heading towards oblivion?
Rajdeep, that's an unfair equivalence. The fact that we can't afford to have anybody else as the Congress president today is not to say that we should not look inwards and remove the aberrations. Whatever the shortcomings there are in the party can be removed and will be removed under the leadership of Sonia Gandhi. Why are you saying that the shortcomings of the Congress party are equatable only to the president of the party? I don't agree with that. I think she has given an outstanding leadership of the Congress party by effacing herself at critical moments and letting others come in. But if there is no one today, for reason A or reason B, who is generally acceptable as a suitable replacement, you can't impose somebody on the party. That will also be undemocratic. And as far as the elections argument is concerned, the entire electoral college, that is the AICC, is a product of consensus. So until you have elections right from the bloc upwards to the AICC, elections don't mean a thing and they don't serve a purpose. And this is not the situation when the Congress starts fighting
the fact is
internal
your party
elections.
has not had sir, okay. The fact is you haven't had a proper election through your Congress Working Committee for more than 2 decades. That's another question which we will perhaps raise on another day. But you made your point as to why you believe Sonia Gandhi should stay on at this moment. Dr. Ashwini Kumar, former Union Minister, thank you very much for joining me here on this special broadcast. Okay, you've heard from a senior congressman who believes Sonia Gandhi should stay on. What about those who believe the time has come for an alternative? I'm joined at this moment by Sanjay Jha, the suspended Congress leader, and I'm joined by Javed Ansari, senior journalist who tracks the Congress for years. I want to come to you, Sanjay Jha. You heard Ashwini Kumar there. He says these are extraordinary times. This is the wrong time to call for a replacement for Sonia Gandhi. It will only split the party. She is the unifying factor. Your response?
Rajdeep, I have a lot of respect for Dr. Ashwini Kumar, but let me just make this point very clear, that there is never a wrong time to do the right thing. And let's look at the bottom line. In a hard numbers game. In the last two Lok Sabha elections, the Congress stands decimated, 44 and 52. If we are still going to live in denial and ignore the writing on the wall, that will be like committing political harakiri. And I do believe that the 23 eminent congressmen, who I have personally a lot of respect for, whose political contribution and experience to the Congress's success over the decades is out there in the public domain, have written a very constructive note. I would like to ask any person who's a true congressman to tell me what is the one objectionable thing they find in that letter. It is actually, Rajdeep, a letter which is in the Indian Express, which puts out how the Congress needs to strengthen its internal democracy, have more transparent elections, get galvanized to actually increase the morale of its innumerable workers all over the country, so that we are able to take on the might of the BJP, which is currently, having a field day in India, that despite a disrupted economy,
sure, but
poor foreign policy,
somewhere the letter, Mr. Jha, somewhere the letter is also an indictment of your present leadership, whether it is Sonia Gandhi or Rahul Gandhi, and therefore it has led to speculation that there is a demand for perhaps someone else outside the Gandhi family to become president. Why don't all these 23 worthies say that openly? Instead of leaking out a letter one day before a CWC, come out in the open and say it's, and revolt then. I mean, you see, you can't have it both ways.
Absolutely. Let me answer, because I heard Dr. Kumar in the fag end of his interview. He was mentioning that Mrs. Sonia Gandhi should continue as the Congress president. But the fact, Rajdeep, is that she had already resigned and retired, and, for personal reasons. And she took over this assignment as an interim Congress president under severe duress. For the Congress party to now say 1 year later that she should continue is being brutally unfair to her. And Rahul Gandhi himself, and I admire and applaud him for this, he himself took moral responsibility. He resigned a year and plus a few months ago. And he said, I'm not coming back. I don't want a Gandhi family person to become a Congress president. So all the 23 people who have written the letter, and there are many other supporters of the letter, signatories, are saying, can we kindly adhere to the request made by the Gandhi family itself? And more importantly, you have to know how to blunt the BJP. This should not become into an internal internecine Congress war, because ultimately you need to be fighting fit to take on the BJP. I think the 23 people who have written this letter today have done it in absolutely impeccable and very refined spirit, saying the Congress needs to resurrect itself without delaying even a single day. And whether you take Mr. Anand Sharma, Mr. Kapil Sibal, Mr. Ghulam Nabi Azad, Dr. Shashi Tharoor, Milind Devra, Manish Tiwari, Jitin Prasad, it's a good mix of people. There is no old versus young versus middle age.
But can I say this? Can I say this? Who out of these 23 worthies do you believe has a pan-India presence that they can actually replace Sonia Gandhi or even a Rahul Gandhi? For all the weaknesses of the Gandhi family, they remain your mascot. My point is, it's one thing to talk about the need for internal democracy, have elections to various organizational posts, have a proper Congress parliamentary board, all fair enough. But who's going to lead your party? The worry that those who are supporting Sonia have today is that if you want to replace her, whoever is replaced will not be acceptable and will only lead to splitting your party further. That's the question, Mr. Jha.
Rajdeep, let me remind you, in 2002, when Narendra Modi was one of the most maligned and malevolently abused politicians in the country after the Gujarat riots, did anybody expect him to become the Prime Minister? Did anybody expect Donald Trump, who sat in the audience when there was, President Obama and the media making jokes about Donald Trump, did we expect him to become the President of the USA? Unless you give somebody a chance, you will never know. And I do believe that there are a section of people in the Congress who are spreading this extremely fabulous myth that if the Gandhi family is not there, the party will split. I think that's absolutely bogus. If the people are committed on ideological basis, then why should you allow any personality to influence your decision to be in the party or outside of it? I am in the party and I will continue to be in the Congress no matter who heads it. But I do believe that it is in a democratic spirit. If there was a truly vibrant internal platform, do you think Mr. Ghulam Nabi Azad and Milind Devra would have to actually write a letter? I think these are manifestations of despair. But at the same time, there is
No, many
hope,
believe it's
because
for preservation. Many, the criticism, Mr. Jha, many of them are worried that they will not be renominated for Rajya Sabha. Many of them are worried that the Gandhis may not give them the kind of plum postings that they once used to get. The fact is, you're a party in opposition. It's much more difficult to give them the patronage that they once got. Many of them are seen as drawing room netas who can't attract more than 1,000 people at a rally. Many of them were defeated in the recent Lok Sabha elections. That is also the harsh reality. Let's get real.
Well, Rajdeep, many of them are former chief ministers. Many of them are current members of parliament. I don't think we should try and diminish or dissipate their relevance in the past or today. And I also want to let you know, Rajdeep, and I'm saying so with complete confidence, that they have not just contributed in the past, they are people without any fears. I'm telling you, the people who have signed on the letter are fearless for only one reason. They care for the Congress. And I think any true Congress soldier today must back it. This is not about being anti-Gandhi family. The letter clearly says that the Gandhi family are integral to the Congress's entire future. Who's debating that? I have said so, and I'll say it on your channel, that if Mr. Gandhi tomorrow is not the president ever, he will still remain a big political capital, a huge political brand. I mean, these things remain. Nobody's challenging that at all.
Okay, let me bring in Javed Ansari at this point. Javed Ansari, you've heard Sanjay Jha, you've heard earlier Ashwini Kumar. What's your sense? Is this again a storm in a teacup? The more things change, the more they remain the same. Is this scripted drama, or do you believe that there is a genuine attempt now being made on both sides? The Gandhis also seem willing to cede space, and perhaps these leaders who have written this letter also appear determined to effect some kind of a change in the party style of functioning, if not the leadership. Is this a serious revolt?
Well, I do believe that where these 23 are coming for has some basis. I also believe that they have more support than just the 23 who agreed to put their signature on that letter to the Congress president. I am also of the view, and I wrote about this 3 hours before this was made public. I wrote for a website that Mrs. Gandhi is going to resign. This is certainly not scripted. I'd be very surprised if she allows herself to be persuaded to take back her resignation like she did in 1999. The Gandhi family has in the past made it clear, and Sanjay was referring to it also, that they are willing. Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead, Mr. Ansari.
Yeah.
Please go ahead. No, my question is, who is the real target? Who is the real target at the moment? Is the real target Rahul Gandhi, or is the real target Sonia Gandhi? Are all those who today are troubled with the way the Congress is functioning really targeting Rahul Gandhi? Is there a sense that Rahul Gandhi is not de jure the Congress president, but remains de facto the one taking the decisions? That is troubling that the senior leaders are troubled by the way Rahul Gandhi's whimsical style of leadership continues in a way to dominate the Congress. Is the attack on Rahul, or is it on Sonia?
Well, the attack is certainly on Rahul. Sonia, it was not so much on Sonia, but on Rahul Gandhi. The attempt is to see that Rahul Gandhi is not brought back and reinstated as Congress president. They do believe, and a lot of them will say this privately, not just the 23 who've put their names on that letter, that Rahul Gandhi cannot win us an election. If there is a binary between the national level between him and Modi, we are bound to lose yet again in 24. They believe that under him, the party does not have a future. They also disagree with his style of functioning. His is a very individualistic style. They would like a more consensuous, building more consultative style that Mrs. Gandhi used to practice. And therefore, this, while the letter is addressed
do you see any alternative, Javed Ansari?
Alternative to?
Do you see any alternative to the Gandhis at the moment? Someone who could emerge? Do you see anyone who could emerge as a consensual candidate? Do you see anyone in tomorrow's CWC meeting, or dare I say within the next month, who could emerge as an alternative?
Look, in principle, nobody is indispensable, but the facts are that as the way the Congress party is structured, the Gandhis are the adhesive are the adhesive that has kept the party together, kept different factions together. I do not know if Mr. Sanjay Jha and the 23 others who've signed agree, or if there is any unanimity amongst them on who will be the leader. And, this is going to come up through an electoral process. The electoral process is a very ponderous and long one in the Congress, and a very fractious one. And it is going to open up a lot of wounds. It's going to open up the Congress to lots of pulls and pressures, especially at a time when it is buffeted by Narendra Modi and Amit Shah on one side and electoral reverses on the other. This crisis has come at a very inopportune time. But this is not to say that the Congress doesn't need to change. The Congress needs to have changed 5 years ago. It is 5 years too late. They need to put their house in order, the Ginger Group as well as the Gandhis.
Let me turn to our correspondent Maushmi Singh, who was the first to break this story today. Others have since followed Maushmi's lead. She was the one to break the story that Sonia Gandhi had indicated that she does not want to continue as interim president any longer. Since you broke that story, Maushmi, we've seen a number of congressmen pass resolutions. The Amrinder Singhs, Chief Ministers, Amrinder Singh, Bhupesh Baghel, Ashok Gehlot, all reasserting their faith in Sonia Gandhi's leadership and Rahul Gandhi's leadership. I've just seen a tweet by Pawan Kheda saying there is no opposition leader other than Rahul Gandhi who's taking on the might of this government, lending his voice to youth, farmers, tribal, small traders. The list is endless. My inspiration is Sonia. My leader is Rahul Gandhi. Is this all scripted, orchestrated, so that ahead of tomorrow's CWC, a mood is built where people say, no, we have no other leader but Sonia and Rahul? Is this all being orchestrated? Is Sonia Gandhi serious about stepping down?
Really, Rajiv, I see it as a face saver, and it's very important because even despite the fact that the letter says that the Gandhis are an integral part of the Congress party, it really raises questions on Sonia Gandhi's leadership. It talks about Rahul Gandhi's pet project, the NSUI, and the Youth Congress democratization of elections. So really the question is being raised on the Gandhi leadership. And let me tell you that very interesting tweet has come from Mr. Narayanasamy, the Puducherry Chief Minister, who's called all these leaders non-congressmen. So really the knives are out, Rajdeep. And very importantly, I see three things happening tomorrow. There are three options. One option is that the Congress party, as usual, will repose faith in Mrs. Gandhi. If she is not ready to budge, then the other proposal will be that Rahul Gandhi should lead from the front, and it is only Rahul Gandhi who can actually bail the party out from this crisis. And the third option is, if that is not an option, then is it really going out to the elections? And in that case, another president like Mr. A.K. Antony or the former Prime Minister Dr. Manmohan Singh's name could be mooted. Remember, they have the loyalty of the faith of the Gandhi family. So I am told that if a third option is also being worked out, Rajdeep, and we will have to wait and see that whether a real showdown happens, because this is going to be through video conferencing, and we'll have to see how actually leaders speak out, because last CWC we saw a lot of transmission loss and a lot of audio glitches. Mrs. Gandhi had to get up a couple of times. We have to also keep in mind that she's not been keeping well. So a really troubled time for the Congress ahead.
It's an important point that you made there at the moment, that the Congress may look for someone, if at all, who also turns out to be another interim. So you have Sonia Gandhi being replaced by another interim Congress president, names of A.K. Antony, Manmohan Singh, both of whom are not keeping good health, are doing the rounds. But Sanjay Jha, in the past, when the Congress has split, it has split on ideological grounds or on personality driven issues. We can go back to 1969, we can go back to the splits later post emergency as well. The various splits that have taken place in your party in 99, of course, over Sonia Gandhi's foreign origins issues. Whenever the party splits or a group breaks away, it either breaks away on ideology or it breaks away on a particular personality. This time, what is it about? Is it about simply the Congress looking at survival? And is it an existential crisis that the party faces at a time when the BJP has emerged as a dominant party? Because in the past, all those splits took place when the Congress was a dominant party, or certainly was the principal party of the country. Now the splits are taking place when the BJP is the dominant party, or if I wouldn't call it a split, but this revolt is taking place when the BJP is the dominant party. Does that change, in your view, the way the narrative will now run?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you cannot ignore the political environment in which you are today. Extraordinary circumstances demand an extraordinary solution. As everybody says that this is unprecedented, because the fact remains, and I'll borrow your term, the Congress does face an existential crisis. When the country's grand old party that has governed for 55 of the 73 years, that won 10 of the 17 general elections, is reduced in 2 consecutive elections to double digits, it is telling you that you got a serious problem. That's the elephant in the room. And, you know, today I do believe that when these leaders have written, there is a certain collective angst and apprehension that we are headed for another serious catastrophe if we don't correct our course right away. And let me tell you something, Rajdeep. In politics, you know, your instincts have to work very quickly for you. And one of the things that I think everybody has understood, that we are doing nothing different. Now, I'll give you one example. If in the last 6 years, after so many dismal routes in state elections and 2 Lok Sabha elections, for God's sake, if even once the party hasn't seriously internally debated as to what went wrong, what are the seminal challenges we face, how do we handle the powerful combination of Mr. Modi and Mr. Shah, how do we handle these charges that we have become a pro-minority party and we don't understand India's majority community. These are issues you need to address head on. Now, if we haven't addressed them, then can you blame anybody for the moment to rise up and say, we have to stop this drift right away? If we don't want to be an accessory to the decimation of the Congress party on account of its own internal inertia. I think everybody here who signed this letter is a formidable political heavyweight, but more important is a committed congressman. And give anybody a chance. I'm going to tell you this.
We can question whether they are heavyweights. No, 1 minute. Your definition of heavyweight, Mr. Sanjay Jha, Mr. Sanjay Jha, the fact is all these people have been, most of them at least, have been promoted under the benign presence of Sonia Gandhi. Are any of them therefore now willing to even look at life beyond Sonia and Rahul? It's all very well to write a letter. Why don't they then come out and openly speak out? They're very, very cautious. Why? Why is it? Do they really have the political capital? Are they a Morarji Desai or a Nijalingappa even of 1969? Or are they even a Sharad Pawar of 1998-99? That they have the political capital to take on the Gandhi family?
Well, Rajdeep, I don't want to go to 1969 because we know what really transpired there. But because, you know, Mrs. Indira Gandhi's, you know, entire personality and the way she campaigned changed the whole story. But you're right. The Congress party till then had not lost a single general election. We have lost 2 in a row. And I'm saying this with confidence that everyone who signed the letter is got his own excellent political contribution to have made in the past. When I say heavyweight, I'm not talking about anything other than the fact that they're all proven success stories. And I do believe that the Congress is not short on talent. You give anybody a chance, any of the 23 given a chance will be able to prove their mettle if they are given that opportunity. And I think this is what democracy is all about. I'll give you one example. You know, you know it, Joe Biden was criticized by Kamala Harris for some of his views in terms of racism. And he appoints Kamala Harris as his vice presidential nominee. Why can't the Congress party today listen to its own people? That's exactly what the issue is. And I'm hoping that tomorrow in the Congress Working Committee, instead of some of the usual suspects coming and drowning the voices of the people who have written the letter, people actually debate the issues that have been raised. We have taken it away from personalities to the foundational challenges that the Congress party faces today.
Let me therefore give just 30 seconds each. First to you, Javed Ansari. What do you think will happen tomorrow? What's the most likely scenario?
Well, I'd be surprised if Mrs. Gandhi allows herself to be persuaded to take back the resignation. She will insist on it, perhaps may continue, but for a limited and specified period of time till somebody else can be put in charge. I don't think Mr. Manmohan Singh or Mr. A.K. Antony will take charge or will be the replacements for Mrs. Gandhi. the Congress is staring at a real crisis in the face.
Let me turn to you, Maushmi. Remember a year ago, Mukul Vasnik's name was floated as a potential stopgap arrangement, or certainly someone outside the Gandhi family. But again, will it be a rubber stamp, or do you expect someone to actually emerge out of tomorrow's meeting? Do you expect a showdown tomorrow? Will there actually be a showdown tomorrow, or is it likely to be papered over by this chorus which is now building up that only Sonia, only Rahul?
No, I really think, Rajdeep, you said well, because thereafter Mukul Vasnik's name came on the top. In another CWC, Mukul Vasnik was actually pulled up for harboring ambitions of becoming the president of the Congress party by none other than one of the Gandhis. So he was pointed out that you also were harboring that ambition. So I really think that leaders are wary of being in that situation. But that said, I do believe that there is going to be some tit for tat exchange because these are all Congress leaders. Remember, there are Mukul Vasnik, Jitin Prasad. These are the leaders who have signed. But there are not many in number, and for that matter, this will be weighed out heavily by the Gandhi loyalists and the Gandhi supporters. So I really feel that we have to wait and see what Sonia Gandhi actually says and does, because Rahul ain't budging, Rahul is not budging, Sonia is not budging. So do we have a third option?
Well, clearly the Congress is facing a serious crisis. This is an existential crisis. Some could argue it's existed for the last 6 years. And sooner or later, the Congress will have to confront the reality. Sonia Gandhi tired but not retired. Rahul Gandhi out but still remains in. And Priyanka Gandhi quite not ready. Is it time, therefore, for the Congress to look beyond the Gandhis? And is the problem of the party just of leadership, but a fundamental problem of a decaying organization? The main opposition party is clearly in a crisis. Thank you all very much for joining us on this special. On the other side, Pooja will be back with the other headlines. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.
Hi everyone, Preeti Chaudhary here. Hope you like this video. For latest news and analysis, like and subscribe to the India Today YouTube channel. And don't forget to press the bell icon to stay updated. Thank you for watching.